Hey, this is Landon and Kristen from Belcher Outdoor Broadcast. We thought it would be a cool idea to tell the story of some of our kills we yaw. And I thought it would be cool to talk about my first poking young buck, kind of start with a pretty nice deer, and tell a cool story, because I'm that kind of guy that always seems like something kind of stupid or silly happens to me really close to the time of that hunt, and I tend to kill the critter I'm chasing after that silly thing happens to me. Yeah, this deer right here, I'd watched the season before, but I'm not sure exactly what deer it was. The summer of 2020, I was at Buzz Cove Beach riding side by sides. Kristen can send you, well, she's going to post these pictures on the video while we're talking. And I got my first picture of him. I seen he was really wide in June, and he already had points for me. And him and another buck, too, that were rolling together at all times. You'll get to see him, too. He turned out being 8.
He was in our Instagram post. That was the second deer that looks a little different, obviously.
Yeah. I noticed he was really wide, and like I said, this was June. That was the first time I ever noticed him. The following weeks, I noticed him getting much bigger. We'll show the progression pictures. And come July, late July, August, man, he was, 19 inches wide. I was thinking going to be a 10-pointer is what I thought. And he was rolling with this 8 like clockwork every day. I had this deer on camera every day. He was in some hardwoods behind a big hayfield, and the hayfield was really high, and I knew they were going to cut it come deer season. During 2020, I was on a big Wright's Minerals kick. I was feeding this deer heavy minerals all summer. It was still legal. He was hitting them hard. Him and this whole bat, he was with 5 bucks all summer. If you saw one of these bucks, he was with them, all 5. And they were all 5 solid, decent deer. And they cut that hay 9 days before bow season. When that farmer cut that hay, they disappeared. I was frantically trying to figure out where they were going, switching cameras around, moving cameras around, talking to anybody I could, trying to get any info on this deer without getting people all on top of me. And opening day of bow season came. September 12th was opening day of 2020 in North Carolina. And didn't see the deer hunted morning and evening. I bet I seen 20 deer. Never saw him, of course, or any of those other bucks. So the whole time I knew that they were still together. I knew that it was a big bachelor group of bucks, and I knew if I could see one of them that the others were close. Literally just hunting at the hope that he'll show up. Didn't have him patterned anymore. Thought it was going to be easy at first. The day of the hunt, the next day, which would be September 13th, that morning, I left him alone. I didn't have him on camera in the mornings. I wanted to just stay out and not push deer. That morning, I took it easy, which is very tough for me. It's patience. I've learned in a long time of hunting. I used to just hunt. But that afternoon, still had no pictures of the deer, just at the chance that he would show back up there. I knew they were around there. And it had been 9 days at this point. This was day number 9, the evening of day number 9. Kristen was at the house. We'd been messing with the pool and cleaning up and stuff. And I took off about 3 o'clock. Got 5 miles from where I was supposed to be hunting. There was a head-on collision. There had been a bad wreck and people were hurt, so they had the road blocked. And I didn't know this area too well, so I had to just try to, and I didn't really know the address because you're going to a hunting spot, you know. So I dang just took a right and circled way back around. It took me like 20 minutes to find the road I needed to get on. When I found the road, I pulled in. You talk about hot. It was September 13th. It was the second day, so it was blazing, man. It was blazing. A lot of people I know wasn't hunting, but I just knew this deer was moving. And I get out to my spot. I'm sweating. I've done walked half a mile. I get in the tree. I'm sweating. I got my bow hung at the bottom of the tree. And here's another stupid, silly thing. I start working that bow up. My string pops in the middle halfway up the tree. And this was back in my Matthews days. I'm Hoyt now. So my Matthews fell off and it bounced off the ground. Arrows in the quiver and everything. Arrows went everywhere. Had a lot of choice words to say. So I climbed back down the tree, scooped up my arrow and my bow, climbed back up in the tree, had to carry the bow up there with me. Now I'm really sweating, I'm mad, I'm hooking my safety harness back up, and I'm sitting there, nothing. I don't see nothing, man. And it's just one of those weird times in the deer woods. A lot of hunters will know the feeling. It was just too quiet. It was beautiful, and it was quiet, man. I hadn't even seen a squirrel, and I just knew something was going to happen. I heard a stick pop about. These deer were hitting it heavy, 6:30, 7:30, that hour. I was going to kill them in that hour. At 6:15, a stick popped, and there was a big oak tree. I'm hunting in a little poplar tree, and I had to kind of lean around it, and I was face masked up. You know, they were a good ways off, and when I leaned around it, I saw a familiar 8-point rack that I've been watching all summer, the buddy deer to the 9, and I saw him, and he was still slapping full velvet. You talk about beautiful. I mean, a beautiful 8-pointer. I'd have been proud to shoot. When he looked over there towards where he was headed, I saw a rack outside of his rack, like behind him. That was him. His rack went past the other one. The other one was taller, but he had done rubbed his horns. In that 9 days, he had rubbed his velvet completely off, but they were still bachelor grouped up high, and every single buck was in full velvet but him. So that kind of hurt me a little bit, and they worked their way up, feeding on acorns about 15 more yards, and they come in right on top of me in a single file line, and I let the 8 walk by me. The 8 was a beautiful full velvet deer. Didn't score as high as this deer, but would have been just an awesome trophy with velvet. And he walked by, and this guy right here walked by, and they were both standing there broadside at 15 yards feeding, didn't have a clue I was in the world, and the other 3 were coming. So I knew it was time, and when I drew back and got, they were right on top of me, so I was down low. When I got down here, this is the only time in my life I was like, which deer do I kill? And I was like, well, man, you've been excited about that 9-pointer, and I put it on him, and it went through, and this is the first time I had ever seen this happen. When that arrow hit that deer, blood shot out the backside, and it busted through him, and I knew I got him because he run the opposite way. All them other bucks took off where they came from, and the big 9 took off the other way. And I seen him hunch up and disappear behind an oak tree, and I heard all kinds of thrashing and crashing, and then a big pop. So I knew things were looking good. But as a bow hunter, even if you think you whacked him, I think it's good to get out. So I didn't even look for an arrow or nothing. I left, hooting and hollering, calling my wife and called my buddies. This is the first time I had ever seen this happen. When that arrow hit that deer, blood shot out the backside, and it busted through him. And I knew I got him because he run the opposite way. All them other bucks took off where they came from, and the big 9 took off the other way. And I seen him hunch up and disappear behind an oak tree, and I heard all kinds of thrashing and crashing, and then a big pop. So I knew things were looking good. But as a bow hunter, even if you think you whacked him, I think it's good to get out. So I didn't even look for an arrow or nothing. I left, hooting and hollering, calling my wife, and called Bobby, Travis, and Cameron come out with me and track this deer. And I was confident the whole time. We were hooting and hollering, celebrating before we even got there. We got to it, and it just looked like a dang water hose of blood, man. And we tracked it to a little canyon that I didn't even know was there. And when we got to the canyon, the deer beside disappeared, and we looked down, and in the bottom of the canyon was like a 40-inch tractor tire. That daggone buck had rolled on his belly all the way. He died at the top of the hill, fell down the hill, and belly rolled all the way, and his rack literally got caught in that 40-inch tractor tire. Like it was upside down, like locked in that 40-inch tractor tire. And we just wiggled him, and finally broke him out of there. It was kind of hard to get it out, and just celebration from there. It was that was one of the best hunts I've ever had. Earliest I've ever got it done. Pressure was off.
Was this the first year you were hunting in that spot, or?
This was my third year. Second year.
Second
This
year,
was my second year. I started hunting that spot in 2019.
Second year.
This was the second deer I took off the property, and boy, it meant a lot to me. It's still to this day my biggest in North Carolina, and it's my first Pope and Young ever. It's cool I'm real proud of it, and it's cool to tell y'all the story.
The arrow was a pass-through, right?
Pass-through arrow, and I couldn't find it, and heck, we loaded up the buck and got our hugging and high fives out of the way, and Bobby told me, he said, I'm going to go back and look for that arrow real quick. It was dark at this point, so he took his flashlight and went back in there. Sure enough, he come back out with that arrow right there. That was the last deer I killed with a Matthews bow.
Yep, this guy sits right in our living room, right above our TV. Look at him all the time, and I think we'll maybe do some moving around. It's Landon killed a Big Ten in Ohio this year. We've got about a 2-deer limit, I think, in living room. Maybe 3, we'll see.
Not my
I
limit.
might kill one, possibly.
It ain't the limit for me, people. I hope y'all know. I'd like to have the walls as full of flat, nothing but deer. We don't need pictures or anything.
Yeah, this deer is super special to me because it was so special to Landon. I remember him calling me and telling me about what had happened, and every time Landon harvests an animal, it brings me to tears because he is just so happy, and I love it so much. And something I'll never forget either.
And this deer, this was one of the first nice bucks that I watched grow up. Everything I did was for this deer. The feed, the camera, the stand, everything was to kill that deer. And when all that works out, when all that comes into one, all the hard work and the telling your buddies about him and the card pulls and being excited, like when all that comes together, man, it hits you real hard. So I thought that's why I wanted to start with this buck.
He's got that nice chocolate rack. He's
the light skin, tan. He was just he didn't even have his winter coat yet. It was that early. And my buddy Alan Watson mounted him. Beautiful mount.
We'll get some close-ups on him here in a little while so you guys can really see his coat in full glory and those antlers in glory. They are. He's definitely a very beautiful animal.
Yep. I was proud to take it.
Well, we really thank you guys for watching this little tidbit.
There's going to be some more.
Yeah, hopefully we get some more videos going here for you guys and tell a few more stories. We've got so many stories to tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.